What's up, y'all? Candy Girl here with my 2 cents on George Zimmerman suing Trayvon Martin's family and other individuals for some alleged defamation of character and malicious prosecution. He's suing them for $100 million, y'all. And so this was a requested video by one of my subscribers. Thank you so much for the suggestions. A very interesting topic, and I would love to give you my impression of the merits of this, as well as the plausibility of it going forward. If you have not done so already, go ahead and subscribe to my channel and turn on your notifications. I don't upload often, but if you have a video idea that you would like for me to come forward with, or give my 2 cents on, please go ahead and leave a comment on any one of my videos, and I will most definitely consider it. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, if you don't know this already, there is a documentary called The Trayvon Hoax. They came out. If you don't know anything about the Trayvon Hoax documentary, just go on YouTube and search for it, and you'll see some synopses of this documentary, what it's all about, what does it say, and all that kind of stuff. But the gist of it is that one of the witnesses during the prosecution for Trayvon Martin's murder, there's some evidence coming forward that would question her veracity. For one, they're questioning whether she is who she even says that she is. The person that she says she is like Trayvon Martin's girlfriend or longtime friend, and there's been evidence that's come forward to say that that's not even her. She was not there. She did not witness anything. She basically went on the stand and lied. And so because of these revelations, or alleged evidence in that regard, because of that, now George Zimmerman wants to sue Trayvon Martin's mother, the private investigator that they hired, as well as law enforcement, for defamation of character and for a malicious prosecution using that false evidence. Now, number one, when you talk about malicious prosecution using false evidence, I think that it's a hard sell to say that the mother of a slain young man maliciously prosecuted anyone. If anything, she went where the evidence took her, okay? There was information, knowledge, and belief that George Zimmerman was the person that killed him. That is true. And it is only reasonable and only in the best interest of justice to see whether this was really self-defense or if this was murder. So the fact that he's saying that she maliciously prosecuted him, that seems a bit far-fetched, especially a mother. That's not malicious prosecution. That's trying to get justice for your son. Now, the evidence that was used against him, there was irrefutable evidence. It was that one witness that is questionable. And so what I think would be a better option for him is just to go after that witness for perjury. Now, what is the probability that he would be able to find credible, documented evidence that these people all conspired together to get this false testimony? I mean, the likelihood of that is very, very small. And with that being said, I don't think that he's going to be very successful in showing any kind of conspiracy or, malicious prosecution by using some false witness. I just don't think that that's true. Also, with defamation of character, one thing that you have to prove is that not only were you damaged in some kind of way because of this false testimony that they conspired to produce. Not only that, but that false testimony and that witness was the proximate cause of those damages. In other words, that there was nothing else and no one else that damaged your character surrounding and as a result of that murder, except for that false testimony. And I highly doubt that he'll be able to prove proximate cause of damages in this case because of the fact that he has done so many things to damage his own reputation ever since he murdered Trayvon Martin. Case in point, he was arrested for stalking the private investigator and a co-executive producer of one documentary that Jay-Z funded in regards to Trayvon Martin. He threatened people, he stalked people, made horrible statements about people that were publicized via Twitter and things like that. He was also arrested for domestic aggravated assault on his girlfriend, including throwing a bottle of wine at her as well as pointing a gun at her. Okay? He also auctioned off the gun that he used to kill Trayvon Martin. Okay? So let's say, for example, that George Zimmerman is saying that my reputation was damaged, and as a result of my reputation being destroyed, I could not find a good job. I was evicted from my home. People were coming to my house and threatening me, and they caused severe emotional distress. Baby, you're gonna have to prove that it was that witness that caused all of this and not the rest of the bull that you were pulling ever since you murdered that young man. And something tells me that that is not something he's going to be able to prove. So that's where the proximate cause of damages comes in. You have to be able to show that all of the damages that you're alleging as a result of this false testimony, that it was a direct result of that false testimony and not the rest of the stuff that you did. And I highly doubt that you'll be able to prove that. If anything, the false testimony probably, if that alleged false testimony had not happened, I'm sure you still would have had all those damages to you based on the simple fact of your actions ever since you murdered this young man. Okay? Now, the bottom line is this. I think that George Zimmerman is still guilty. I don't care what kind of witness they had and what lies she could have told or whatever. Just as much as, I'm just going to put it out there, I think O.J. Simpson killed Nicole, okay? But he was acquitted because there was a reasonable doubt. And so in both situations, I think that both of those people were guilty. It's just that the prosecution, their hands may have been a little muddied. They did not have unclean hands. And because of the fact that they did not have clean hands throughout the entire investigative process, it casted some kind of reasonable doubt as to whether this was a true case of murder versus self-defense as it pertains to George Zimmerman. So, I think that, it's just one of those cases, just like in the O.J. Simpson situation, where the prosecution just desperately wanted to prove that this was murder. This was cold-blooded murder. And they were willing to go through any lengths to do that. And unfortunately, that involved some things that you shouldn't be doing. That's illegal. I will say, based off of what I know of the evidence against this witness, I do find it somewhat likely that the witness lied and that she's not who she said she was. And that's so unfortunate because George Zimmerman could have very well killed him in cold blood, but you messed it up because of the way that you went about it. And that's very disappointing because, now true justice was not served, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. All right, y'all, I'm gonna get off of here. If you have any other video ideas, please leave a comment on any one of my videos. I will be sure to consider it. Thank you so much for my subscriber who has suggested this topic. I'm really glad that you did. And until next time, you all, love and blessings.